What is up? What is up, party people? Happy Wednesday to the NFL world. My name is Sebastian Fear, and I am the SGPN football doc, and I'm here to give you another NFL IDP injury update. That's right. I stand with defense. Defense does matter, and the injuries do as well. So we got a lot of injury news headed into NFL Week 8. So let's go ahead and get it started. So a little bit of housekeeping stuff. We have Broncos safety Kareem Jackson, originally suspended for 4 games, but he was able to appeal it, got it reduced to 2 games. Really, the suspension comes from he's headhunting. He's out there hitting people really hard. Obviously, maybe 10, 15 years ago, we probably wouldn't even be talking about this. But Kareem Jackson has knocked multiple people out of games, and the NFL is obviously tired with it. So it looks like he's going to be suspended for 2 games. He was able to appeal it and get that reduced. All right, moving on to Green Bay, where Aaron Rodgers might have made a curse on him. There's something going on with this Green Bay roster here. They've had a ton of injuries this year, and they've got even more, 2 to the defensive backfield. They just had to put both Eric Stokes and Darnell Savage on the IR. They're going to miss at least 4 games. Eric Stokes, you got to feel bad for. He was coming back. It was his first game back. He had a season-ending foot injury last year. He came back and didn't even make it a full game, injured his hamstring. He's going to be at least out 4 games. It's probably a grade 2 strain with the way that they rolled him out so quickly. I would expect him limited at least 4 to 6 weeks. Again, Stokes, he's on the IR, as well as Darnell Savage picked up a calf strain. Again, similar thing here. I'm thinking grade 2, moderate strain. The fact that you ruled him out that quickly. If it's grade 1, typically that's more of a 1 to 2 week thing. You want to give the guy a chance to return before 4 weeks. Them putting them on IR tells me that this is a more severe injury. So you got 2 Packers from that defensive backfield. They're going to be out for at least 4 weeks there. All right, moving on. Biggest injuries this week. Seahawks linebacker Uchenna Nwosu. He picked up a pec injury where it was originally thought he might be able to rehab it. He might have to have surgery. Looks like the decision's been made. He has had season-ending surgery. So Nwosu is going to be out for the remainder of the year. And it looks like they're going to pick up Frank Clark. So, I mean, I'm not sure if Frank Clark exactly has that much left in the tank, but they are looking to pick up a much-needed replacement on the edge there. Nwosu, he had a couple sacks this year. He kind of helped that rush by committee, and it looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the season. Moving on to Chiefs linebacker Nick Bolton, another guy who really just returned from an injury, kind of does it all for them in the middle of that defense. He picked up a high ankle sprain earlier in the year, and it caused him to miss 3 games. Now it looks like he's going to be out several more weeks. Looks like he picked up a wrist dislocation and fracture. He just had surgery today. The initial diagnosis was that he was going to be out for about 2 months. He did not have to get any metal put into his wrist for stabilization during the surgery. Typically a good sign as far as surgery goes. Maybe it's a little bit more inherently stable than they originally thought. So we're still waiting on a new kind of timeline, but I would expect him to be out at least a month. So I would not expect to have Nick Bolton in your lineup at any time soon, unfortunately. However, Dre Tranquill has played very well for the Chiefs. He's someone who's probably already been picked up in most leagues, but that's someone that if he's not picked up in your league, he's definitely going to be a very, very big part of that Chiefs defense going forward. All right, last guy. I always like to end on a positive note. We're talking about Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner. So he picked up a concussion right before the bye week. So he's kind of been dealing with this for the past 2 weeks. On Monday, he was still in the concussion protocol, which was pretty shocking to me. Usually, especially this year, guys have been missing 1 game, but usually not more than 1 game. In the past, some guys wouldn't even miss a game. So I was a little shocked here, but he did have a full practice today. So, barring any setbacks, I am fully expecting Sauce Gardner to play this week and him to be back on the field. All right, guys, that is the injury updates for this week as far as IDP goes. If you want any more injury updates, whether it's IDP, fantasy football, college football, go ahead and follow me on X at SGPN Football Doc or on TikTok on the same username at SGPN Football Doc. Also, always do weekly injury reports at Sports Gambling Podcast. And last but not least, for IDP news, if you want to know who to pick up, some last-minute news, Gary and I, IDP Tipster, we do a Sunday live IDP show every Sunday at noon Eastern. Make sure you check in. That's the best place to see who's inactive, who's playing, who should I start, and who should I pick up. All right, guys, let's have a great week and let it ride.